All right, hello and welcome to another Girls on Games podcast. This is episode number 38. Thank you all for coming to hang out with us here today, whether you be live in Twitch, checking us out on YouTube, or listening to this through iTunes and Podbean. We appreciate it. Want to let you all know I've got a wonderful co-host here with me today. I am Leah, co-founder and chief of Girls on Games, and I've got my other partner in crime and co-founder of Girls on Games, Miss Catherine Smith-Debiang. How are you doing today, Catherine?
I'm good. It's finally getting cool enough so that I can take out my toques again.
I know, that's very nice. Your toques are very fashionable.
They are, and they're all handmade by my mom.
How cute! So cute. And that pin.
Yeah, my friend Florence gave me that, who's in Sydney right now.
Very nice. And we also have the RPG queen extraordinaire, Miss Allie. How are you doing? I know you're fighting with your camera, but how's it going?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Everything's going well. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody. Monday, fall. It's like everything is full tilt to the max right now. Like we're just inching into review season. Work is insane. No matter where you're working, it's just like chaos all the time. Yeah,
pretty much.
But it's good. We do get to play some games, so I want to know what you guys are playing right now. Allie?
I have literally been doing nothing but the Siege beta.
That's okay. Since that's a big topic.
Since the technical test, I threw it in there for this week because I was like, that's all that's on my brain right now.
That's cool though.
So, yeah, I've just been doing that, like literally just that when I have time, and it's usually from like midnight till like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that's fine. Fun. Yeah. I don't know how you have any energy for that, because come midnight, I'm like done.
Coffee.
Yeah, then I wouldn't sleep.
I have black coffee at like 6 p.m. every night just to get myself home. And that's why I'm up until 2 a.m.
Well then, maybe I should start that. Maybe I'd get more work done.
Yeah.
I'm going to start the Allie regiment, the 8-bit blonde regiment of coffee at 6 p.m. I'm going to try it and see what happens.
Definitely not suggested by any doctors that have a medical license.
I won't tell my mom, my dad, or my sister that I'm doing this. Catherine, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a bit of the Siege beta too, because gotta get in on that while it's hot. I've also been playing a lot on my phone, a lot of Pokemon Shuffle. And I want to know, people out there, are you stuck on Mega Mawwall? Because I can't beat that shit. I cannot beat him. I went and got more Pokemons, more fire, more ground. I tried. I can't get combos. I can't get chains. I can't do shit. And I went on a forum to see if people were like, had a solution, and everybody's whining that they can't get through it. Yep. If you have a solution on how to beat Mega Wild on Pokemon Shuffle, Pokemon number 90, hit me up. Okay, it's at CSDBien for Twitter, or just message the Girls on Games account. I take care of them too, so just help me beat that motherfucker.
It's so funny. Earlier we were prepping for the podcast. I've been playing the game as well, Pokemon Shuffle as well, and Kat shows me the screen and she's like, have you beaten this bastard? And I'm like, no, I'm not there yet. I'm playing like 10 games at once.
It's Kat's like white whale.
Yeah, essentially.
Moby Dick style, like.
It's my Moby
just
Dick.
Out of reach.
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I've what have I been playing? Siege and NHL and Mad Max. I've been really schizophrenic when it comes to gaming. And then I play Tiny Tower Vegas on my iPad when I go to bed at night, which seems really dorky, but I love that game. I'm like, must build another floor. Oh, and I refuse to spend any money on it. So yeah, that's what happens. Oh my, but there's so many games coming out this season in the next few weeks. It's kind of insane. It's hard to keep up. I'm like, there's a new game on my desk every day. Yeah. It's wild.
It's getting intense.
Yeah. Get you guys up to date with what's going on with GOG. Wanted to let you know that we actually had a really productive, really awesome team meeting Saturday night, which was a lot of fun. The whole team together, pizza and alcohol included.
Yes.
And yeah, there's lots of cool stuff in the plans, lots of Twitch planning, lots of video stuff, written gear, posts. We got a big fall and winter for GOG. So yeah, stay tuned because it's going to be lots of fun. But yeah, we're working on like lots of Twitch streaming. So I'm excited about that. Lots of faces on the camera playing lots of games that you love. It's going to be good. We also have codes for those who want to join us in the Rainbow Six Siege beta fun. Lots of those. Holler at me. You can message me right in the chat at GOGLeah, or you can hit us up on Twitter or something like that. You message us, I will guarantee give you a code. The beta runs until October 1st. They actually opened it for longer, so that's super exciting. So you can get in on the terrorist shooting action. We're going to be taking questions at the end of the podcast, as per usual. This is going to be a little shorter podcast than usual. I'm playing with the format a bit, you see. I want to make it nice and interesting for you guys and have nice conversations going on with the crew that is on the podcast with us. So yeah, but I do really enjoy the questions that I get from you, the audience. So yeah, throw them in chat. And if you're listening to this post podcast, like post live, like you're not in Twitch, you're seeing it on YouTube, or you're seeing this or listening to this on iTunes afterwards, feel free to tweet us a question. We will totally like answer it during the podcast and give you a shout out. And you can tweet us at the Girls on Games on Twitter, or you could drop it on Facebook or on Instagram. Those are both the Girls on Games as well. Where else can people holler? So they can email us. Yeah, info@girlsongames. You got a question? Throw it at us. We'll answer the best of our ability. And also, just a little bit of house cleaning. Don't forget, if you want to show your GOG cred, we have GOG t-shirts that you can buy. Wonderfully hand silkscreen t-shirts done right here in Montreal with our really nice logo on it. So, you can walk around town showing off the GOG love. We love you back for purchasing one. Thanks very much. They come from Electric, and Amanda over there, she has some major talent. So yeah, let's jump right into this fun. Rainbow Six Siege. It seems like all of us are playing that. We all played it together yesterday for a little bit. Some news has been released that there's not going to be any story mode or single player mode per se in Rainbow Six Siege. And this brings up a little bit of a query. Do you guys think this is the beginning of the end for single player or story mode in first person shooters?
I have thoughts.
Go, Allie.
I have thoughts on this topic.
Nice.
No. It's not going to be the end of single player mode in FPSs that need a single player story mode. Nowadays, we're kind of divided in two sections of FPSs that are coming out. The ones that are being born and bred to become competitive FPSs, and ones that are being, it's a game style rather than their sole purpose. I mean, you still have FPSs that have good stories, but I think our issue was getting a bunch of FPSs that had stories shoehorned in and single player storylines added that just fell flat, weren't good quality, weren't long enough, and that was bringing down general scores. For reviews, it was kind of leaving a bad taste in your mouth because you feel like your money is going towards that, but then it's not there. So if you want to charge me $75, but I'm buying a multiplayer experience and I know that going in, I'm totally comfortable with that. And that's what I'm doing with Siege. That's fine. Take my money. If they start putting in microtransactions for skins and whatnot, guys, you might as well just cut up my credit cards right away, because they will have everything from me. But yeah, no, I don't think it's a bad sign. I think it's just them realizing that they can have the best of both worlds. They can make the games that they want to make without trying to please everybody nowadays.
Now, I think you're the one on the team who's actually played Siege the most. You've leveled up the most. I think you're at level 22 when we were playing yesterday. What are you now?
25 now.
25? Was there a max in the beta?
I haven't reached it yet.
Oh, okay. We haven't seen that yet. Okay, cool. All right. Kat, what do you feel? How do you feel? Do you feel?
Do I feel? Are you human? I don't really play a lot of first-person shooters. The only ones I've really played regularly were Far Cry. I don't know if it considers
really...
as a first person, like classic first person.
Yeah.
But I did play a lot of Siege and I did play a lot of Destiny, and I think those games are very much driven by the multiplayer and the online experience, or just the playing with your friends and making a team, especially for Siege, which is a squad based.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think adding a story will make them sell more copies, because every time I've played a first person, everybody's like, "Oh, you finish the story in a weekend and then you play the multiplayer."
Mm-hmm.
I think Ubisoft is unapologetic about what Siege is, and I think if they buff up the online experience to compensate for the lack of story, they're like, okay, like we're not gonna put a single player story mode, whatever, but you're gonna have more maps, more game modes, more this. The servers are gonna be buffed up. That's what it is. There are so many first person shooters out there that have great story mode. Like, I know it's an exclusive, but like Halo have great story. Battlefield Hardline had a decent story. Didn't play much of it, but it looked pretty good. That I think you have a FPS that caters for everything.
Mm-hmm. I think the key is marketing each game accordingly. Like the fact that Ubi's being straight up, this is no single player mode. The whole point of this is multiplayer. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's its raison d'etre, right? So that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
A discussion that we had while we were playing Siege was about Destiny, and or was that Saturday night? I don't even remember when we had that discussion. But Destiny, when it first came out, felt like it was just for multiplayer. The story was kind of lacking, but now with the Taken King, it sounds like that's what it should have been.
That's what we were discussing. Actually, that was us, you and I, yesterday. Yeah, I just to reference chat a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I Meow's questions and comments.
Okay, cool.
There's room for both in the world, right? Like there's going to be FPSs that are going to have really wonderful storylines, and that's fine. But then there's also room for the ones that are just going to be used to pad gaming competitions. And there's room, and there's going to be an audience for both. And there's going to be some overlap, and there's going to be there's going to be people that are interested in one and not at all in the other. But it is, like Leah said, a lot about marketing. Just be straight with us. Just be like, hey, we want to give you guys a good multiplayer experience, like competitive multiplayer experience. So if you want to pay us $75 for that, then that's cool. But don't be like, well, here's a really crappy story that like a 5-year-old wrote in crayon on his like mom's walls, but then here's all this multiplayer, content. So, but yeah, Destiny. I don't know if there's any familiar faces in chat right now, but you guys know how I felt about Destiny. When that game first came out, I was betrayed. It was bad. I thought it was bad. But I revisited it with the release of The Taken King, and I really feel like that should have been the game to come out initially. I feel like that collection, the 2 DLCs and the 1 X-Pack, should have been it. That should have been what my money went towards in the first place. So
a year later.
Yeah.
Think about that. It's been a year.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? Destiny's been out for a year. Oh my. It's crazy. I think you guys hit it right on the head. You've got games like Far Cry where story is everything, and FPS is a mechanic. It's a type of gameplay. How you decide to treat that afterwards is up to, the developer. If they want to do an epic story and forget multiplayer altogether but have this epic story, then yes, Far Cry, that's the direction you go in. If you want to have pure on multiplayer mode and do competitive, Rainbow Six Siege, even in Halo and COD, that's the way to go. Halo, I think they got the magic point because they got so many people in the beginning drawn into their story mode, and they're very vigilant of keeping that lore and that story solid.
Well, I mean, if you look at something like Call of Duty, where it's
Yeah.
like they have story mode, then they also have the multiplayer mode. Half the people that play, I would probably say more than half the people who play Call of Duty have only ever played the multiplayer. They haven't touched the story mode. Whereas I think if you asked Halo players if they've played through the story mode, they played through the story mode because it is a good story. Even if it's not your cup of tea, they have
Mhm.
built a really good world.
Yes.
And it's true, they have found the magic mix between having a solid single player storyline
Mm.
and good multiplayer content.
You have to be willing, though, and you think about this. Call of Duty comes out every year. We haven't seen a Halo release since the 360. So, how much time and thought are they putting into both aspects compared to a game like Call of Duty where you're getting them one a year?
Mhm.
Right? It's the same, it's the infinite thing we say about Assassin's Creed sometimes. They come out, it's so frequent that they don't have time to sit back, reflect, and adjust. So that could be part of the thing, the process as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like pick what you want to focus on and make that killer. That's all we ask. And tell us that that's what we're getting. Give us that, and we will be happy campers and give you our credit cards all the time.
Very, very willingly.
um, so Siege, it really feels like, and I mean, we are seeing inklings of this with the Canadian tournaments, that this game was straight up designed for esports.
It was.
Straight up.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other way for like I mean, and they're not even being shy about it. Like the
No.
game already has competitions going on and it's not released yet. Like they're pushing it. This is how they're marketing it as a competitive esport, which is
So be,
fine.
yeah, it'll be interesting to
Great.
see how Ubisoft keeps that up to make it to the like high end esports level too.
Well, there's like I think they're going to make it. Honestly, like their
They have the
plan
money.
so far, they have the money, they have but they have the plan too, which I think is really impressive. Like the amount of content we're going to be getting on release
Mm-hmm.
alone is pretty cool. Wait, I was just talking to my friend. We were like playing last night, obviously. And I was like, you realize we've been playing this for like a week now and it's been like the same 3 maps and we're not bored?
I
And
know.
he's like, you're totally right. I was like, can you imagine when there's like 11 maps? And we like flipped out a little bit. We geeked out a little. But yeah, it's no, they're gonna I think it's gonna do well.
I'm really excited to see how they craft a tournament, how they craft the whole range, how you can move up, the different levels. Like it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be really cool to see this because now that esports is, like in the news, in the common ground, especially, well, it's always been for us gamers, but like the common ground, for the non like hardcore gamer crew, it's gonna be interesting to see how they start making teams, how you start qualifying for things, how, like where's the different standings, it's gonna be cool to watch.
Yeah, well, it's when I'm assuming they're going to implement some sort of ranked
Yes, they have to.
matchmaking and leaderboards and whatnot. I'm
Mhm.
going to be interested to see that. Right now, I'm really enjoying the whole collection of renown, unlocking your operators, um, just like grinding renown to build up your loadouts and stuff like that. Like I have
Yeah.
every skin. I'm obsessed. But yeah, it's got room to move and it
Oh,
has a lot of good examples to follow now in the esports world.
yes.
So with CS:GO and whatnot, they're taking tips, so that's good.
The question will be too is how do they structure the competitive? Like, do they have PC ranks? Do they have Xbox ranks? Do they have PlayStation ranks? Do they center around one? Do they do one console, one PC? How do they make that balance? If it's PC, are people always using controllers? That will be interesting.
Well, the builds that we have played in live situations, like at
Mhm.
Fan Expo and whatnot, those were PC builds with Xbox controllers.
Right. But
And that's
you
what
can
they've been
play it.
using. Yeah, that's what they've been using for their competitions. Has been PC builds, Xbox controllers, but then during their live streams, it's all PC.
Mm.
So I don't know. I think it's gonna maybe it's maybe a little jaded of me to say so, but maybe it's gonna depend on who throws the most money at them
That's
to
true.
sponsor their events. Which you know what is we have CS:GO on PC. I'd like to see this come to Xbox.
Yeah.
Sorry, PlayStation. Sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm sure the PlayStation folks are not crying. They're the ones with the monopoly right now. So yeah, we've all been playing the beta. Allie, you've been playing mostly multiplayer.
Yeah.
Catherine, we've been playing a lot of Tarot Hunt.
Because we're
So Cat,
noobs.
because we're noobs, but
Kids
let's
are
talk
so
about
cute.
I know we can't help it. We're learning, but this is a good process. This is a way for us to get into it before all the all of the fun starts. Catherine's making funny gestures of how we point at the sky with our guns. Kat, how have you been enjoying Tarot Hunt?
I like it. I like it better than playing against real people because real people are better than I am. Um,
Play
the,
Tarot Hunt on realistic, and that's when shit gets pretty crazy. They
I'm sure.
suddenly they start becoming not so derpy and like facing walls, and you're like, oh crap.
yeah. No, I still have to learn the buttons and the
Mm,
loadouts, and
me too. That's the thing. It's a good way to learn.
it's just like I feel that's the thing. Like with the lack of story mode, I don't have a training ground.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping they'll have tutorials or just like, like basically
Well,
one-on-ones where you just a shooting range.
that is actually what they said when they announced that there wasn't going to be any single player story mode.
Yeah,
They said that they were going to have a good, like a solid foundation of that for people to learn.
sweet.
Tutorials and like training grounds essentially.
Yeah, because that's very important for me because I'm not drawn to first-person shooters. Like I'll play them, like I'll play a squad base to play with you guys and have a good time. But I'll never get to the level that you and Catherine Ashley are because it's not my jam, but I do enjoy them once in a while. What what stops me from playing more FPS is the competitive aspect, and it's a bit like I was talking to a friend who plays a lot of League of Legends, and basically he's getting fucked because of like the rankings and how hard it is to move up and move like
Mhm.
if you're a casual, you're already stuck in the cesspool of bad players,
Mm.
so you can't make yourself get better. And some of my friends had issues with StarCrafts too. Like they were always like in the top of their bracket, and they could never get like a game like
Yeah.
of a guy above they could beat or a guy below that they could like they. So that's
Yeah.
the thing with the competitive aspect. Why I'm not drawn to it because I'm like is I don't want to have to like sign off my life and stop playing other games to be good at this one and enjoy it.
Yeah, but
So
that's kind of always the toss up, right? Like I
yeah,
mean, it's
I
gonna be
think
the
that's
same
where
for
Tarot Hunt comes in. Do you know what I mean? You can still go in, you can still play. You're not playing against real people. You can still laugh at each other when you blow each other up with grenades, Craig. That happened in one of our games. Yeah, so like in that sense, you can still jump in with people like Kat and Allie that know, that are better at it than you, myself, Kedisty, and we'll still have a ball of fun. I think that's where Tarot Hunt's strength is, and learning too. Because yeah, I'm learning the loadouts and all the different types of
gadgets.
characters can be gadgets and things. I'm like, Twitch. What do you mean you're Twitch? So yeah, one thing we didn't mention during the esports when we were talking more about how this was ready for or getting ready for esports. They actually have planned. They mentioned it at Gamescom. I want to say the overview watch, like the stream watch of the gameplay, like they
Oh,
have for
spectator
CS:GO.
mode.
Yeah,
Spectator
that's what
mode.
it's
Yeah.
called. Spectator mode. So that's going to be interesting to see play out as well.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else did I mention in here? Oh yeah, Call of Duty's Black Ops 3 is not going to have story mode for PS3 and 360. Now, I think this is a whole other can of worms. This is a move based on technical requirements, in my opinion. Not, I don't think it's something that, like Treyarch wants to focus on is the older consoles. I think we can currently say those are the old consoles. We are now in the current gen. We no longer have to say next gen. I'm not doing that anymore. It's been 2 years. Oh my God, it's been 2 years. Oh my God, it's been 2 years. Ugh, crazy. Yes. So goodbye Xbox 360 and PS3. Hello Xbox One and PS4. I think, yeah, Treyarch really wants to focus on those consoles and leave the other ones to dust, but give them. There's enough of a base that people will still buy the games, especially in like you can't really call them second world countries,
No.
like folks like
Yeah.
Brazil and stuff like that, like where they might not have gotten the PlayStation and the Xbox at the same times as we did here in North America. But yeah, I don't think this is anything to stress out about. I think it's more
No. And
fluffy
you know
news
what?
than anything else. But
Like I think they realize too who they're marketing to. They're marketing to people who like people want to play the multiplayer in Call of Duty. Like it's just a thing. Everyone knows it.
yeah,
And so I think they're cutting their losses and saying, we're gonna do it this way. But Oh,
Pat,
actually, that's a good question. Yeah, Pat just
Pat,
posted
yeah.
something in chat. Yeah.
He says, Pat Laundry says that the problem is that they will charge full price for half a game. I think that is the problem. Well,
Is that
then
official?
is if that's official, don't buy it. Like, don't put your money there. Go get a new console for crying out loud. Like, I wouldn't go back and play one of the older games. Like, your
I don't.
already your
Yeah,
member base is not going to be the same as if you were on a new console.
I
So,
don't think. I don't think that's gonna the case though. I don't think they're going to be charging
okay.
people full.
No.
Okay,
Anybody want to do a fact check? Anybody want?
I can do that.
Graf said no, and then Pet Laundry said $50, 50 US on PS3. That's the full price of a PS3 game. That's
No,
not the
it's
full price of current games, which are 70 or
Yeah,
80.
but if you went, if you were to buy a new release title on 360, that's okay. If something's coming out for PS4 and Xbox One, it's also coming out for 360 and PS3. The price difference is not that big anymore. Or it's not anymore. It's not big. Like, I mean, I think there's like a $5 difference.
Okay.
So, like,
Okay.
$50 is probably right because it's probably going to be $75 on Xbox One and PS4. No.
And Finder says Brazil has a huge problems buying consoles because of import tariffs.
Well, that makes total sense,
A
right?
PlayStation costs like 800 USD in Brazil.
Yeah, that's why they probably have a lot of back. But they want to service those folks, which I totally understand. And there's like the install base for old consoles is insane. So you don't want to totally cut it off. I can see where Treyarch, am I pronouncing that correctly? Treyarch is coming from. So yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe the price is not great, but it's still cheaper than upgrading too. So maybe you can go buy that fancy PS4 with
I
the
kind of
ugly thing with the
I kind of
orange.
agree what Meow says in chat. I'm a little bit mean like this. I'm just like, just cut them off completely. No one needs a 360 or a PS3 anymore. And I feel bad for all the 12-year-olds whose
But it's
parents aren't
money.
buying them.
It's easy
Exactly.
money for them. It's
Exactly.
easy. It's $50.
Exactly.
Oh, Graf did
So-
some fact checking.
Okay.
To make things right for those who pre-ordered the game, Activision is offering Black Ops 3 on last-gen consoles for $49 instead of the standard $60, and is even tossing a free copy of the first Black Ops games.
That's
Okay,
not
see,
bad.
that's fine.
That's reasonable.
That's fine.
They probably didn't look. They probably got so far down the pipeline, right? And they had plans of doing it on both. And then they got to an impasse, and they were like, "It's either we drop the story mode for the old consoles, or we push back the release of the game. What would you rather do?" And they were like, "Drop story mode, cut our losses, and drop it. Everybody's gonna be playing multiplayer anyway." Da da da. So
Yeah.
that's all I can do. It's business. Yeah. That's it. That's it.
Business.
Yeah. So okay, I think that's been pretty good conversation about Siege and FPSs. It's actually something we don't talk about very frequently. I guess we have because of Siege coming out. Because Ubisoft seems to have the hook in us there. They piqued our interests pretty darn quick with that one. Yeah, it's actually kind of turning me into a fan of FPSs, which I never thought was possible. So let's get into our second topic of the evening. And it was all spawned after me looking at my laptop and trying to stream. So I have a MacBook Pro that I maxed out. Like, I paid $4,000 for this thing back in 2011 or 2012. I'm not sure off the top of my head. Maybe 2012. And I plug in my Elgato, plug in the Wii U, plug in my mic, everything's going, things are running, the computer's right next to me, the mic's right here. I start streaming, my computer sounds like an airplane taking off, and that's all you hear in stream because it's all that my mic picks up. So I have to take my computer and put it in the middle of the room and stretch my mic closer to me on the desk, and it's just like this really higgly-piggly poor shit setup because my computer sounds like an airplane going to take off. So I do some Google research, and I talk to our in-house expert on tech and IT and stuff, Simo, and ask him, like, what do I do? Like, I have a unibody MacBook Pro. It's essentially the same specs that Kat bought in her new laptop, but I bought mine 4 years ago and paid through the ass for it. I'm not really ready to part with it, nor can I afford to part with it. So how do I try and fix this shit? Like, it can't, like, this is not good. I lay it on my lap and I burn myself. He's like, you probably need to clean your fan. I was like, okay, it's a unibody MacBook Pro. I don't really want to open it myself. He's like, no, you can do it. So he sends me a YouTube video and all that jazz. So I went out today and I bought the screwdrivers and the shit to be able to open it. I'm still super scared about opening it and taking it apart myself and cleaning it. Not gonna lie, it's gonna be an experience. I might have to vlog it because I'll be biting my nails. But yeah, I wanted it brought up and inspired this conversation all around keeping your tech and gaming gear clean. And if you ladies have like a regiment or a manner in which you try and like protect your stuff, do you like
Yes.
frequently clean your stuff? Do you like like PCs? Obviously, it's a little easier than a laptop with your controllers, with your consoles. Like I know my PS4 kind of sounds like an airplane taking off. I have to like clean that too, which scares me as well. Another video to be recorded, more of me freaking out. So yeah, how what do you guys do? Do
I
you just
have
like wait until it breaks, or do you
no,
clean it out, or what do you do?
no. I
All right, go
have
ahead.
a regiment,
Oh, what is it?
and it's called "Don't touch my fucking stuff with your dirty little hands." That's pretty much my regiment.
That's a hard
I
one. Though.
knock on wood, okay, like knock on my desk, even though it's not wood or what anything. I have not had a piece of tech break on me, whether it's a cell phone, and I still have the first generation fat white Xbox 360 that still works
Yeah.
perfectly fine. I've never red ringed that thing at all. Like it's fine.
Wow.
My PC, it's fine, except for the little camera issue we're having right now, but that's because I knocks up and over with my foot. Um, but I've never had a piece of tech break up on me or gunk up on me so much that like its performance was inhibited at all. And I don't know if it's just because I'm very careful, but not Febreze. I Swiffer very gently. I like clean vents. I make sure they're unobstructed. I make sure they're not close to the floor, so they're picking up dirt and hair and all that stuff. Um, no, just be clean, guys. And nothing bothers me more than having like picking up someone's controller. Like if you go to someone's house and you pick up their controller and there's like Cheeto dust or like
Yeah, that's just
food
gross though.
on the controller, and you're just like, can you not? Just don't. Just be really careful with your stuff. Be like gentle and wash your hands.
Now, do you have any pets?
I did. I
Mm.
did have a dog who shed like mad.
Okay.
And that's where it like comes to, like make sure that your vents are unobstructed, make sure that your fans are, open air circulation and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And don't leave anything on the floor, guys, for the love of God. Fuck. So many people I see like have stuff just on the floor. Don't do it. Go to IKEA and buy like Catherine, don't do it. Go to IKEA and buy like a $10 table and just put your stuff on
And
top
put
of it.
the table where?
I don't know.
You act like
Balance it on
there's
Pascal.
you act like there's room for me to buy more storage.
No, I still have a functioning PS1. I still have all my Game Boys. Like, just be gentle with your stuff, guys.
I'm actually very lucky because I'm messy and not gentle, and everything still works. I've never had something break on me. Our only issue is whatever controller Pascal is using to play hockey. He's destroyed a PS3 controller. He had to open up my old PS2 controller and change the joystick because he plays so much, and he plays with his skill tip.
Yeah, the flicking skill stick thing. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he destroys controllers by playing so fucking much. Like he plays hockey, like he plays NHL like 3 or 4 times a day. So he gets his own controller, and he can destroy it. But even though I'm like, I have a cat who sheds for 20, and I don't really clean. What I'll do is like once every 6 months I'll open my computer and I'll do the compress air and remove some of the hair. I try to keep the mesh hair free, but like once a week I run my hands through it, and like a cat worth of cat hair is on the mesh. Honestly, I've been really lucky because I'm not a very cleanly person. I'm a very messy person. In our apartment, like we're outgrowing our apartment, so like this is why like you see the mess. And it's just I do clean, like we do dust and things, but I don't have room to put my shit. Like I could buy more bookcase, but I don't have any other area where I can put a bookcase. I've got a pile of boxes back here. It's just like it's a fucking mess. We have no storage. So I just put it where I can. I try to keep it clean.
Mhm.
And so far I've been lucky. I've even dropped my brand new LG G4 on concrete, and all I got was a chip.
It's not bad.
As my mom would say, my tits are blessed.
Allie, I saw your post. I haven't clicked on the Instagram link that you dad minimalist life, but yesterday was Netflix and chill, but not that kind of Netflix and chill. Like legitimately, I sat my ass on the couch with my husband and we watched Netflix, and we watched this documentary about tiny houses or tiny homes where these people build like 100 square foot houses on like trailer beds and they can drive them places. You need to watch it. Now, these, like, I can see this as being like a summer home that'd be really cool. It's like an RV, but like a cooler looking RV because it actually looks like a house and it's kind of quaint and cute. But like, I don't know how folks do it. I don't.
No.
I don't, man. I don't.
I think
Yeah.
it's lies. I honestly think it's completely staged. I'm sorry, you cannot fit 2 full-grown adults and like 2 toddlers in something the size of a shed
I
and
don't know.
expect them to not kill each other.
Can you imagine? Can you
No.
imagine?
As I'm just like having flashbacks to like growing up, like spending time with my cousins, and they had an entire house to play in, but they still managed to try and stab each other.
Meow says she and her boyfriend want to build a tiny house. Meow, if you do that, I want you to 1, show us the process, and 2, show us where the hell you're going to put all your tech, because my tech alone will fit in 100 square feet. Oh man, how you can't have a big TV because you can't sit in far enough back from it. You just can't.
You know what? I think what we need to do is, like, if we're gonna spend another year in this apartment, is like we need to pack as if we were moving and just get rid of a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And see if I can reassess our storage, because honestly, I need to be on one of those shows like storage whatever, or hoarders or whatever. It's not a hoarding situation, but somebody needs to teach me how to keep my house tidy and how to organize stuff. It's like right now my closet is so full that I can't keep it tidy. I bought bins to put the stuff in the closet and bins and keep shit organized, and it just I put a quarter of this stuff in those 2 bins, and I'm just like, why do I have so much shit?
So you're stuck with a ton of bins.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What do you mean bins?
Yeah,
no, purging is definitely a good option. That's what we're going to do. But you know what I hold on to, and it's really difficult for me to get rid of? The boxes for my consoles and the boxes for my tech. I have my PS4 box. I have my Xbox One box. Oh, Catherine's going to show us something. That's what that is, eh?
Yeah, see behind the air conditioner? That needs to go, but it's going to be 30 tomorrow, apparently. Is all, like, you can see there's the PS3 box.
Yeah.
Like the one right here is the PS3, and it's sitting on top of the Xbox One, who's sitting on top of the... Like, the other day, I found all my boxes for my controllers, like PS3, PS4, Xbox One. I just took them all and I threw them out. And there's, like, the box for my Epson scanner that I don't even own anymore.
Then why do you get rid of that?
Probably because I used it to move the current scanner I had, because I threw the box of that current scanner.
Yeah.
But it's just like, why? Pourquoi?
When we did Extra Life, it was super handy for me to have my Xbox box.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I covered it.
I think you and I rebrought our boxes.
Like, day 1 edition
Yeah.
box. Oh yeah, I love that thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Meow says that they talked about already, her and her boyfriend, about how they were going to deal with all the consoles. 2 towers and 2 reasonable monitors don't take up much room, or we go gaming laptop route. The idea is to live life outside and use the house for sleeping, eating, and rainy days. Which, that's cool.
You'll have glare if you game outside.
Maybe they plan on not gaming as much.
Priorities.
Or
Yeah,
you get one of
growing up.
those awning things that you can like hang off the side, and you go outside and you game that way.
There you go. That works.
Cut down.
No,
on
that's
the-
kind of
Fucking
cool.
gazebo. My parents
Yeah.
have a gazebo, and it's the shit.
I kind of wish though that I took a tiny house and like decked it out in like the highest of techish shit, and then whenever I needed to go do something gaming, that I would just like go to my tiny house, and then I could come back in my normal house. I mean,
Go to
I've got a
your
yard.
tiny
We could build one. Just
Like, be
imagine.
a timeout area. Go to the tiny house.
Leave. Oh, it'd be hilarious.
You're just gonna give another structure for the whores to fuck their clients against.
Okay, yeah, we're not gonna go there.
Without context, okay.
Okay, I live in a sketchy ass area.
Without
It's not that
context,
bad.
that was a little terrifying.
But that was the truth.
It took me a second, who I know where she lives and I've been there, to catch on to what you were saying. I thought you were accusing her of being like a madam. I was like,
No, it's the truth.
Didn't you know this GOG thing is just a front? Oh my, Finder's like, what the fuck?
No, basically to put it in context is in the area of town where she lives, there's a lot of sex workers, and the way her area with her yard is made with the fence and whatever, may have a little nook,
It's a little
And they-
concealed area.
and they take their clients there. It's not even funny. Like, if you're a guy and you're coming to pick us up at her house and you stop in front of the house, they will like come. They'll just amass at your car and try to get you as a client. I've seen, like, we've come out and we were just like, "Where is Phil going?" And he would just go and turn this corner around and come back just to get rid of them so that he can pick us up. It's
kind of funny. And he's in a logoed vehicle most times.
I know, and because he works for the radio station, he's always like in a car with Virgin Radio, Shom, CJD, like big giant ass logo, and they're just like coming to his car like, "Hey," and he's just like, "Oh no, oh no, oh no."
It's too funny. All right.
Sad but true.
So
Moving
after all
on.
that talk of tiny houses and the weird things that happens around my house, are you guys at all nervous about opening up your electronics in order to clean them? Does that scare you? No? Okay, that's cool.
just
Yeah.
have a nice clean work area, have all your tools ready. Don't force anything. I've had to
Yeah.
open up stuff before, but just don't force anything. Don't strip any screws that you're not supposed to strip.
Mhm.
And
That's
yeah.
important.
Also having like a MacGyver in your family. Like if your dad is really good with things like that.
My husband is, so
Get them
that's
involved.
he's going to be the one doing it for me. If folks are nervous and they don't have a dad or a husband or a friend who's handy, do you guys have any recommendations of who they could bring it to? I like
YouTube.
do you YouTube? Yeah, I know, trusting YouTube, but I mean like they don't want to do it themselves. Like, do you guys trust like the Geek Squad? Is that what they're called? I know it might be pricey, but I guess you could bring it to a computer shop and they would do it for you.
I would like I have a local computer shop that's like privately owned that I really like.
Yeah.
But I would say like try and find someone like that in your area. Look
Mhm.
up reviews, ask other gamers, like go to your local game store and maybe ask like if they've referred people to anybody else. And yeah.
Cool. Cool. Well, I think that rounds up that question. So we are taking questions from chat. Sorry, I should have mentioned it again earlier, but I forgot because I got distracted because we're having a good conversation. It's all right. But we are taking questions. Right now I have one from Craig. But if you guys got anything you want to ask us, it could be about anything we've already discussed on the podcast. If you got some other random question you want to ask us, fire away. So let's start with Craig's. And if we don't get any more, then we'll sign off. If we do, then we'll answer them. Any issues you are finding with Rainbow Six Siege beta that you hope are rectified by games launch? Our major issue, Kat's and mine, has been trying to jump on multiplayer, but Allie seems to not be having that problem. So that might be luck at the draw. Or maybe she's got the magic touch. Or the bad touch.
Or a
This is
full
my
team.
creeper face. I hope someone gets that.
Creeper face. There's a lot of creeper action in this podcast this evening, but that's okay.
Eh.
So have you guys encountered anything else that has like gone awry with the beta?
A
Yeah.
lot of disconnection issues.
Yeah, drop stuff, eh?
Like last night when we were playing with our friend Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Following on Twitter at Dan_boys. Anyway, he joined our party, and every time we launched a game, he would disconnect or be booting from our party, and it ended
That's
up,
weird.
and then it happened to voice, and then at one point everybody just had to reboot their game and come back, and then it worked. But that's even before attempting to connect to a multiplayer match.
To be honest, when I play betas for multiplayer games, I know it kind of like it sounds counterintuitive, but I don't really pay attention to dropped connections and whatnot because it's gonna happen.
Right. I mean,
It's
that's
gonna happen,
That's
and they're not playing on the same structure as they're going to at launch, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of try and disregard that, and I try and look for like actual in-game things that are broken or need fixing. I've noticed that there's a few melee hitboxes need to be adjusted greatly. Like when I try and make my murder holes, the melee just is off. Like I'll be like whacking down here and stuff down up here is breaking. So I've put in like a few like forum reports for that. There's a few things they need to nerf. There's like some balance issues with the riot shields and whatnot. But that, I mean, that's all hit or so far though, balance wise, it's pretty good compared to other games. So we'll see. But yeah, hitboxes and some pretty bad clipping.
Yeah.
And kill cams. Kill cams are kind of buggy. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
I noticed that there's this thing if you land around a disruptor, you can't watch that person's feed, which is kind of interesting. But I thought at the first time around, well, I don't know, like there would be times when like people would die or something would happen and like the feed you couldn't watch anymore because after you die, you watch somebody on your team, right?
Yeah.
Which is actually a lot of fun to help them out. But then I would switch back and forth through other ones, and I don't know if it was because I was next to a disruptor or something like that, but I would just get glitching. But it wouldn't be just like the screen, but it would be my whole screen. So I don't know.
Yeah, if you were in because you can either up or down to go to player point of view or cam or gadget point of view, right? So if you phased in on a gadget that was near a disruptor, like if someone had parked a drone and then someone had dropped a disruptor, then of course like you're gonna get just white noise. So I haven't noticed anything. I'll check for that tonight when I play, but I haven't noticed anything like that.
Craig mentioned he wants to be able to pick up fallen weapons.
No. No.
Ammo? I mean, there seems to be a lot of spots where you can pick up ammo.
I've never had to pick up ammo.
Really?
Never.
No, I've picked up ammo.
I don't play Tarot Hunt. Tarot Hunt, you can see.
There's 20 that you have to kill, right? So
I don't like the idea of picking up fallen weapons. Just some balancing stuff that I think would be really off kilter if you could. Yeah, can you imagine like no, I'm having like flashes of like Montag with his shield and like a big automatic weapon. So no.
No.
I've run out of like grenades and charges. That's why like even when we play Tarot Hunt, I would refill just for those, like the flashbangs.
I think they're like that's on purpose though. They want you to like be strategic.
Yeah, it's very tactical based. So it's like in Tarot Hunt, if you could refill those, that'd be I think better because like you said, it's a lot more enemies.
Yeah.
But yeah, in regular matches, no.
We got a question from Pat Laundry. He says, with all the new games coming with huge installs like Uncharted, Fallout, etc., do you still agree to release new hardware bundles with only 500 gigabyte hard drives? Go, Allie.
Oh, sorry, I was just. Oh, you can go ahead. I have thoughts.
Okay, no, it sounded like no. You go ahead. You looked like you had thoughts. Go.
It's funny that Pat mentions this because GameStop just announced that they're no longer going to carry bundles that come with digital versions of games. Did you guys hear about that?
GameStop in the U.S. So that is EB Games' mothership.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's going to carry over to us. But yeah, they're not going to carry bundles that come with only digital versions of games, and I think this might be part of the reason. Yeah, sorry, that was just a kind of side note to like add on to this.
And because they want physical versions of the game in the box, so you don't have to go home and download the whole thing. You can play it instantly.
But then again, you can't even anymore, right? Even if you get
a lot of time, the disc you throw it in, and it still has to do a freaking update, or it installs the entire thing on your disc anyway in order to save on load times.
Yeah, the disc is basically a DRM thing. It just proves you bought the thing, but then it installs everything, and then it triggers a download. I'm pretty sure, like, I would pay good money to. Pretty sure that most of these discs don't even have a physical game on them. It's just a code that triggers the download.
Yeah,
I'm willing to put my hand.
Pat says the problem is that the installations are still huge. I don't think that's something we're going to be able to avoid because the games are better quality. They have more shit on them. There's more stuff to render. They have more like assets that are pre-rendered so that you don't have to render them. It's kind of something you can't avoid. Like if we want better games with higher graphics and better FPS and all that kind of, or not frame rate or whatever, we're gonna have big files. And then like Uncharted. If you look at Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection is 3 games, so that doesn't really count.
It's 3 games, and they said it's going to be the engine and the quality of the next of Uncharted 4.
Right. Rare replay, 30 games. No wonder it was 50 gigs. You know what I mean? Like, there's not much you can do about that. Big games like Fallout, yeah, I kind of see it. Those worlds are going to be huge. There's so many things you can build and so much stuff. Like, they're going to be big. It's what we're in for. It's time to get unlimited download and run with it.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. They're going to put better hard drives. They shouldn't charge more for it because I think that's just like a standard. Just like how now 4 gigabytes to 8 gigabytes of RAM is the standard in PC, like 500 gigabytes is going to be the standard in consoles.
Yeah.
And you're just going to have to like roll with it. As long as like when I delete a game it doesn't delete my save and I can reinstall it later, I'm going to be fine.
When I stop playing a game, I pretty much flat out stop it. So if I haven't touched a game in like 2 months, I uninstall it from my Xbox or my PS4.
Yeah, and like a year down the line I'll even delete the save file.
Yeah. The save file is so minimal, especially if you got the cloud, it doesn't really matter too much.
Yeah, but sometimes even then, I'm just like, I'm really not gonna play this. So I might as well purge. I'm good with purging digital, but look at my life.
She can't deal with physical. Anybody got any questions left? Oh, we've got one here. Question. Thoughts on Fallout 4's relativity modest install size as half the size of GTA 5. Interesting. You know what? It might be relying on rendering a lot of stuff in those consoles because that's what big files are. So like I do a lot of video production, and in order to speed up a lot of my rendering, I pre-render stuff and have assets ready to go to make my life easier, to make it easier on my computer. So what was it? GTA 5, they, like that was on an older console that probably couldn't handle the power. They had to set it up so that they had lots of pre-rendered assets that they could throw in and not have to worry about the console handling it. With the new consoles, they're more robust, they've got better stuff inside, all that jazz, so they can handle rendering shit on the fly. That's probably why. Ladies, I think we're getting really close to the end here now. I don't see any other questions. Lots of really good conversation going on in chat, though. PC Master Race. Never uninstall an old Steam games.
Yeah, I went from PC to Mac to PC, and even on my Mac, I changed the hard drive that was holding my PC partition a couple of times, and so I lost all the games, all the save files. And that was before Steam Cloud. Well, let's just put a timestamp and an age on me. That was before Steam Cloud. It was you could re-download the game, but your save files were gone.
Yeah.
So
sad.
I've just lost too many games now that I don't even care.
Yeah, it used to be really sad when you'd lose a save file. Today I had to reformat in its entirely my 3DS XL, and yeah, I didn't really give two shits when I lost saves. I lost all of Zelda. What is it? The what is the one with the flipping, with the painting? God help me. Link Between Two Worlds. Downloaded, deleted all of it. Oh well, this is gone. I don't really care.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yep, exactly. So
hey,
ladies,
my 3DS got stolen. Everything is gone.
Everything is gone. Yeah, that's all you can do. It's been a wonderful podcast. I'm really thinking I'm gonna go play some Siege after this. How about you, ladies?
Shower and Siege.
Shower and Siege? Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. I don't know if anybody in chat wants to join us. It'd be fun. I probably need about half an hour, 45 minutes. You need shower and eat. Catherine, you want to join us for the fun?
I may. It really depends on if Pascal's playing hockey on the PS4 or not.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, because you need that TV.
Hashtag gamers in a couple life.
Indeed.
That's
indeed.
what happens. Like, are you playing on the TV? If not, I'll play on my computer or I'll play on the 3DS.
Eventually, my game plan here, when I have some money, is to get a proper PC. Okay, it's gonna happen. And I've got a TV up on a wall mount, but the thing is, the TV is shit and only takes the old 720 component cables. So I want to replace that with another TV and set it all up here so I can stream. So Mike can play on the big TV, and I can bring my shit here and play on this TV. The only thing that would be annoying is moving my consoles all the time. But yeah, it's gonna happen at some point. It's gonna happen. So I think that is it for us here this evening. Thank you everybody for coming to hang out and for listening and for watching wherever you consume this wonderful podcast. If you are new to the show and you want to check it out live, we stream this podcast every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/girlsongames. If perchance you can't take part on an 8 o'clock time slot, we post the video version of the podcast, the whole thing in its entirely, on YouTube. And then we also take the audio version and put that through Podbean, which then talks to iTunes. And you can subscribe to it on iTunes so you can listen to it on the bus or when you're running or that kind of jazz. We really appreciate all you guys for coming to hang out and all your love. If you want to learn more about Girls on Games, you can check us out at girlsongames.ca on the interwebs. That's where everything hangs out. You can get all the information there. If you want to follow us on Twitter, we're at The Girls on Games. On Instagram, Girls on Games. Facebook, The Girls on Games. YouTube, Girls on Games. Twitch, Girls on Games. Oh my god, so much Girls on Games. And there is so much coming from us in the near future. Stay tuned. So much cool shit. Lots of Twitch streams. It's going to happen. We want you guys to hang out with us and to play with us. So with that being said, 45 minutes and I think we're going to go play some Siege. Sound like a plan?
Sounds like a
All
plan.
right, ladies. This has been fun. Thank you all. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.